This video showcases how to set up and use the Settings Manager add-on in Blender 4.0. For the purpose of the demonstration, I am starting with a fresh Blender template. However, this is not at all necessary. Let's install and enable the add-on. In the Preferences, you can tweak the directory, which will be used for saving and managing your settings. The default value should work well in most cases. The add-on is located under the N menu. As you can see, we are notified that the settings that are currently used are not managed by the add-on. Let's save them to make them compatible. The name will be Default. Done. Let's now create a new, fresh settings entry. The Settings Manager add-on should be installed automatically. Let's enable it. Let's now save and customize our new settings. I will call them Unreal. These settings will be used for creating art for Unreal Engine. I will now set the unit scale to 0.01. Let's also install the UX add-on that I can use for exporting models directly compatible with the engine. The UX add-on has been enabled successfully. Upon saving the startup file, we have finalized the creation of our new Unreal settings. We can now switch between Default and Unreal. Blender will restart and apply the selected settings. Don't worry. None of your progress will be lost during this process even if your file is not saved. To check if we are actually using the default settings again, we can create a new file. Observe that it's different to our startup file from the Unreal settings. The switch worked. Let's now set up a shared path for all of our add-ons. By doing so, we are marking a specific directory to be used for storing all of our add-ons. If we use the same directory across different settings, we are going to be able to easily keep our add-ons synced and up to date between all settings entries and Blender versions. Let's pick a directory. It can be empty. However, I have prepared one that already has 3 add-ons in it for the purpose of demonstration. Note that if you don't have the Settings Manager installed in the directory you pick, you will have to install it again. We have now enabled the Shared Add-ons feature. To ensure the process worked, let's see if UX is now in the add-ons list. Let's also check if Smart Loops Toolkit is available. It was the 3rd add-on I had pre-installed in the shared directory. We can confirm that the switch worked. Let's try that. After switching to Unreal, we can, as expected, only see UX available and enabled. After setting up the Shared Add-ons directory to the same one that we used for the default settings, we should also have Smart Loops Toolkit available. Now, if we install Screencast keys in while using Unreal settings, that add-on should also be available in the default settings. It worked. The settings list has quite a few controls. You can reorder any items in the list. You can duplicate any settings. After switching to Copy of Default, note that the Shared Add-ons directory is the same as for default. We can now delete copy of default. You can also export and import settings from .zip files or directories. Let's export our Unreal settings and then import them back in. Note that imported settings will lose the shared add-ons directory reference. That's because they need to be self-contained. After creating a new file, we can see that it's the same file as we originally created for the Unreal settings. Any other settings are also the same. Lastly, you can click on the folder icon to open the directory where the settings selected in the list are stored. This sums up the functionality of the Settings Manager add-on. You can now freely access and adjust any of your settings without worrying about having to do repeated work. You can also update your add-ons in one place and not have to worry about migrating to new versions of Blender. Your settings will remain compatible. Thank you for your attention.